الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكن خيرا منهن ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب بئس الاسم الفسوق بعد الإيمان ومن لم يتب فأولئك هم الظالمون صدق الله العظيم. Regarding this ayah of Surah Al-Hujurat, respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, the particular ahkam within these ayat, or this particular ayah, it is related to some of the disease or a particular disease of the heart, the spiritual disease of arrogance, pride, and also racism. There are a few prohibitions mentioned within this ayah that people who have beautiful akhlaq, they always stay away from such sins and they always protect themselves from such prohibitions. These prohibitions are some of the worst character or morals that a person can have. They are amongst the worst. And that is evident from the ayah itself. بِئْسَ الِاسْمُ الْفُسُوقُ بَعْدَ الْإِيمَانِ. Terrible is the sin of these evils after someone has Iman. When someone accepts Iman as a believer, some of the worst sins that a person can commit is being involved in these particular sins. Because this ayah and the next ayah, they are the sins that are related to arrogance, to the extent where a person not only is arrogant but also tries their best to degrade someone, make a ridicule of someone, slander someone. These are the ayat. In these ayat it is made very, very clear. And I'll just kind of go over the basic translation. Yesterday we went into the details of why the women are mentioned particularly, as far as, the qawm is mentioned, a nation is mentioned. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala particularly mentions women. We went over the details of that, the effect and impact that women have as far as these particular sins, and the kind of impact they may have on the society, the children and others. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, all those of you who believe, La yaskhar qawmun min qawmin. Do not let a nation ridicule another nation. Asa an yakunu khayran minhum. It is very possible that the nation that is being ridiculed is better than the nation that is doing the ridiculing. Okay, that the nation that is ridiculing another nation, the very nation they are making a ridicule of, a nation might be better than them. وَلَا نِسَاءٌ, and no women should make a ridicule مِن نِسَاءٍ, of other women. عَسَىٰ أَن يَكُنَّ خَيْرًا مِنْهُنْ, because perhaps the very women that they are making a ridicule of, they are better than them. So this is very, very important. And there are many, many other details mentioned in the books of tafasir as to why the women are particularly addressed separately from the whole qawm or the nation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala further tells us in these ayat, وَلَا تَلْمِزُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ, do not slander one another. Don't make fun of one another. وَلَا تَنَابَزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ, don't use derogatory nicknames for one another. Very, very important, because slandering someone, it's a very, very terrible sin. To accuse someone of something that they have not done, on top of that making fun of them, calling them very bad names, and also using very terrible nicknames, derogatory nicknames. This should not be done. There are some people that they have names with which they are their kunya, they're kind of, it is a nickname, but it is a name by which they are known. They become kind of famous with that name. And it's nothing derogatory about it, but it is a name that is kind of given to them out of respect. As a type of, attributive name that is given to them. And this was also common amongst the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. The very famous Sahabi, which is very often quoted when it comes to the field of ahadith, the case of Sayyidina Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu. This name Abu Huraira, this is not his real name. Okay, but this is a kunya, was the title that was given to him. He used to have kittens, and he used to take care of kittens, baby cats, the kitten. He used to take care of them, he used to carry them around with him. And he used to sometimes let them be inside his sleeve. The kind of clothing they used to have was very loose clothing. They used to live inside his sleeve. Sometimes he used to have a baby kitten with him. And he used to have this so often, they used to be in the street and would see some kitten or something, would start taking care of it. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam called him out on that as Abu Huraira, the father of the kitten. Huraira means the baby cat or the kitten. So he became kind of famous for being called Abu Huraira, the father of kittens. There's also an amazing thing related that he had an extraordinary memory, and there's a story about that. But that's for another time, how he got the extraordinary memory. But there is a message in that. There is a message in that if a name is given to someone as a title, and it is kind of given as something that is praiseworthy, that is very nice, because he used to take care of the kitten. It was kind of, this is something that the 21st century, the world is trying to do, take care of animal rights. But the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, particularly Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he was kind of praised for taking care of these kittens. They were kind of in the alleyways and things like this, so they used to take care of them. And there were other Sahaba radiallahu anhum that also had certain qualitative attributes that were given to them. There was an incident where a group of Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they were traveling with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It was quite a large group. And it was because of the extreme of the weather, many of them, they had difficulty carrying some of their things. The luggage becomes heavy when a person is tired, and so they started slowing down the rest of the group. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he wanted to reach a certain destination kind of quickly. So because the people had their things with them, it was difficult for them to carry. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam called everyone, and he put out a big cloth. And with that big cloth he put out, he told everyone to put their things in that cloth. It's a very big cloth. So the whole group put all their stuff. You can imagine how heavy that would be. That if they were, each one was having trouble carrying their own things, let alone put all of that in one. So then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he asked the Sahaba radiallahu anhum to tie that up. And he called one Sahabi and told him that, go ahead and lift this, because you are Safina. You're like a ship. And these massive ships, how much weight they carry. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam called him as Safina, a ship. So the Sahabi, with firm yaqeen in the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and understanding this, so he lifted that whole thing and he went. And he was kind of in front of the group carrying everyone's things. And even he later on commented that ever since Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam called me Safina, nothing has ever been heavy for me. It is just, things have just become light. Even very heavy weights, when I make the intention to carry them, I'm able to carry them. This was the mu'jiz of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the miracle that he kind of made a dua for this Sahabi by giving him this name, this title of Safina. And even in the books of Hadith and even in Seerah, you will find his name there as Safina radiyallahu anhu, which literally translates in Arabic as massive ship. We might think, what kind of strange name, somebody naming someone as ship. That wasn't his name. This was a kunya or a laqab that was given to him, a title that was given to him by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. A laqab, a title that was given to him. So it is allowed to give someone a laqab, a title, or to call someone with a kunya, with their, they used to have these names. So, but outside of that, if we call someone with a name that is derogatory, and the intent is also that it is used to harm the person's, to show some kind of disrespect to a person, nickname that is disrespectful and that is harmful and that is hurtful, then that is sinful. وَلَا تَنَابَزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ. Don't call each other with derogatory nicknames. Don't use such names that would hurt someone's feelings. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, بِئْسَ الْإِسْمُ الْفُسُوقُ بَعْدَ الْإِيمَانِ. Very terrible is returning to this evil sin, this type of fusuq, these kind of evils, and there's a very terrible thing going towards that or getting involved in that, ba'd al-iman, after a person has accepted iman. So it is very, very important that we understand this. It is also the quality of a believer that if someone is being picked on, someone is being bullied, someone is being ridiculed or mocked out or being called names, then it is a responsibility of us believers to defend that person and try and protect and save that person. One is if somebody is being slandered, the other is if someone is being backbited. There's a group of people and they're backbiting on someone. The person they are backbiting is not there to defend himself or defend themselves. So a believer, a Muslim and a mu'min is supposed to defend the honor of those people. And in the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we have been told that if someone does this, so they will have the ajr of a shaheed. They'll be given such great reward as if they are, or a mujahid, somebody who's fighting for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this person is defending the honor of people, particularly the honor of a Muslim and a believer. So it has very, very great reward. If we are ever in a situation where people around us are ridiculing someone, calling someone nicknames or bad names and making fun of them, we should defend that person and try and help that person that is being bullied. No matter how evil that person might be, even if we know that that person probably deserves to be picked on, even then, we should not join in the ridicule. We should not become part of the name calling and the slander. We should defend that person. And if we're in a situation where backbiting is going on, where a group of people and someone is not there and the whole group starts backbiting on that person, then we should stop that group from backbiting on him. We should mention the good qualities of that person. Mention some righteous deeds about that person that we know. Some good things that that person has done. And we should stop the whole group from backbiting on that person. For this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us immense reward for defending the honor of someone. And particularly if they're Muslim and mu'min, the reward is much, much more. So this should be the quality of believers. A Muslim should always make this genuine effort to defend the honor of others. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has told us very clearly, Al-Muslimu man salim al-Muslimuna min lisanihi wa yadih. A Muslim is one who other Muslims are safe from the evil of his hands and his tongue. So meaning that other people, particularly other Muslims, are safe from the harm of his hands or the harm of his tongue, that he doesn't abuse people with his physical force, he doesn't abuse people with words. A mu'min is one who defends people. So this is part of having beautiful akhlaq, character. The greatest character is if we are able to stand up and defend the honor of people. Even if we may end up becoming the subject of ridicule, but at that moment we should try and make our utmost effort to defend the honor of people. Also, it should be understood that there's a famous saying, and they kind of have this saying in every language. In English, we say what goes around comes around. Another way of saying, another thing they say is, you reap what you sow. In Arabic, they say, kama tudinu tudad. Whatever you have done will end up happening to you. Okay? The gist of that is that if someone goes around, what I'm trying to say is if there is people who go about ridiculing others, and slandering others, and making fun of people, and backbiting on people, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make such a situation where that person will also end up being exposed, and everyone will know that person's evils, and that person will be disgraced. And there's a hadith to that effect, so much so that such a person will not even be honored in his own home. That the person will face so much disgrace that even at home the person will not be able to face someone because of the kind of disgrace they will face. And that is the common thing with people who go about ridiculing others, making fun of others, speaking ill of people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just has created a system that person ends up becoming exposed in the eyes of the very people that he's trying to impress with backbiting on others or trying to prove the evil of others. On the flip side of the coin, we have also found that those who speak about the good qualities of people and they defend the honor of people, for such people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has always made them honored in the eyes of people. Even if this person faces a situation where everyone may try and ridicule them or try to expose them for some evil, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes such a situation where that person, his honor is still intact. So these are things that we should remember, that the ridicule, it doesn't end at somebody just ridiculing someone, but it goes beyond that. There are incidents from the lives of Sahaba radiallahu anhum that we can even take a lesson from. There was a Sahabi who came and he started saying something abusive to one of the Sahaba, I believe it was Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was sitting there, he was just quiet, kind of smiling. So the other person was just abusing Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. He was just quiet. So after the person went beyond the limit, or went really far, Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu kind of responded to him. And as soon as Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu responded, so Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam just walked away. Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu went to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and asked him, why did you walk away? When that person was abusing me, you were standing there, you just kind of didn't say anything. But when I responded, you left. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told him that so long as that person was abusing you, so the malaika were returning his abuse. The angels, they were kind of, everything that he was saying to you, so the malaika were in a dua format responding to him. kind of making dua against the person. And when you responded, so the malaika became quiet. So that's why I left. I said, okay, now there's no point in being here. So even if somebody ridicules us, so we should not take it as if our honor is being attacked, and that's it. There's a famous story about Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi, that one time he finished his class, so he was going home, and someone came and started abusing him, saying very hurtful things to him. Started cursing at him and calling him all sorts of bad names. And Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi, he went home, and when he got home, so he turned around and the person kept on abusing him. I believe this was either Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi or Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, one of them. One of the great salaf and great imams of the past. So when the person was abusing him, so the imam told him that, after the person finished, so the imam told him, are you done? Is there anything else you have to say? The person said, yeah, I have. The person went off again. After he finished, the imam told him, are you done? The man said, yeah, I'm done. He said, are you sure? Make sure you finish everything you have to say. He said, yeah, I'm finished. The imam gave him a very good hug, said, thank you so much. And I was about to go inside. The man said, what do you mean? I'm sitting here making fun of you, cursing you, calling you all these names, and you're hugging me and telling me thank you? The imam told him, listen, for every hurtful, word you used against me and every nickname that you used against me and all this that you cursed me with, you were giving me your good deeds and you were taking my sins. And there's a hadith to that effect, that on the Day of Judgment, there will be a person who will come with mountains of good deeds. And when they will come with mountains of good deeds, even then this person will be thrown into Jahannam. So the Sahaba became surprised at how. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave the example that a person will come on the Day of Judgment with mountains of good deeds, but there will be people that he has ridiculed. There will be people that he has slandered, that he has called nicknames, that he has backbited. So those people will come, there will be a long line of those people. For every person that he has ridiculed, that he has slandered, that he has called a nickname, that he has backbited, all these things. So for all those people, this person will have to give them, he'll have to pay them off. And the currency of the akhirah is good deeds. So this person's good deeds will start going into those people's accounts till there'll be no good deeds left, but there'll be a line of people still left, of people that he has ridiculed, slandered, made fun of, mocked at, and backbited, and taken other rights as well. So now there'll be no good deeds left for this person, but there'll be a credit system. So the people that he has made fun of and ridiculed, when they will start demanding their rights, so their sins will now start piling on to this person. Even though this person has not committed those sins, but their sins will start piling on to him because he ridiculed them, mocked them, slandered them, and so on and so forth. Until this person will be full of sin and there'll be no good deeds left for this person. And he'll be punished for all of that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us. So this is what the Imam was telling this person, that you were giving me your good deeds and you were taking my sins. Why shouldn't I be grateful to you? Thank you, So that is why sometimes, and I believe this incident was about either Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah or about Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi. Either way, it's a very, very great lesson for us that, on one side, we should not be offended if somebody ridicules us or mocks us or backbites on us. We should not take so much stress. They're either giving us their good deeds or they're taking our sins. Also, it's a sign and lesson for us that we should not ridicule, slander, or backbite, or call people nicknames and things like this. We should not involve in these sins. Because in essence, we're only harming ourselves. We're not really causing that much harm to the other person. But in reality, we're causing all the harm to ourselves. So these are just lessons that we can take from this ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then tells us, بِئْسَ الْإِسْمُ الْفُسُوقُ بَعْدَ الْإِيمَانِ. It's a very terrible thing or very terrible sin that a person returns to these kind of sins after they have accepted Iman. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَتُبْ. And if such people do not repent, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. And such people are ظالمون, they're oppressors and they're sinful. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and give all of us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ.